Anyway, okay, so it is 2 o'clock right on the dot, and we will get going. Hello, everyone. I'm Kristie Strauss. I'm the Vice President of Sales at IAD. And today I have with us Jim Bosch, and he is the representative of GigWorker Solutions. So we have partnered with GigWorker Solutions and Jim to offer just some additional services to agents. And I feel like this is a really nice opportunity for many areas. Jim's going to go into all the details of this program, but Jim, thanks so much for taking some time today. We appreciate your partnership and look forward to hearing about this program.
Thanks, Kristie.
Sure.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Appreciate you taking a little bit of time out of your day to look into GigWorker Solutions. And I'm going to start our program here with sharing my screen. We'll go through a PowerPoint presentation. I'm going to pull up several different screens throughout the presentation and kind of give you some details on how the program works and how it can possibly benefit you and your practice if you're a self-employed insurance agent or financial planner, and then also maybe think about some of your clients who you service that might also be. Another thing that we really liked about this program is it gives you another door to go through with people, a conversation you can have with them if they're self-employed. You know, you can show them something new that they likely haven't seen. GigWorkers is the first of its kind PEO for one in the nation, and so there's really no competition to speak of with this program. But GigWorker Solutions is a program that deals specifically with self-employed people. They can be 1099, they can be LLCs, they can be S Corp, but they have to be a business that does not provide two W-2s. So you can have two partners. They each own a part of the business. They would each get their separate GigWorkers program. You have to be at least a 2% owner in an LLC or in that business to be able to participate, but there can't be a second W-2. So that gives you kind of a framework to look at this through. And what the reason for developing this product was, a lot of people are now going to work for themselves, and they're developing this new gig economy, and the growth is incredible. It's far faster than the rest of the economy. And so what people are running into is when they leave a W-2 job, they leave behind benefits, retirement plans, you know, they have to start paying themselves, things like that. So GigWorkers is actually a PEO for one. And if you don't know, a PEO is a professional employer organization, and they have a co-employer relationship with you when you enroll with them. So first thing you have to do is you have to be an S Corp. And if you're not currently an S Corp, they will help walk you through that process. You can either go there yourself. You can, if you're 1099, you can become an LLC, file the paperwork with the state, and then the S Corp paperwork. Or if you don't want to handle that or don't have an accountant you work with that can handle that for you, they have a service available for that. And I believe it's $350 if you're just a 1099 and you need the LLC and the S Corp. And if you're already an LLC but not an S Corp, they charge just $100 for that filing. It's a one-time. Both of those are a one-time fee. I had somebody do mine when I had mine done. This was pre-GigWorkers, but the fee on that's relatively inexpensive compared to, you know, where you can find it other places. Some places will charge you more than that to do that. You can see the growth of the gig worker economy, and this chart here shows us a little bit about the incredible expansion that we're seeing in this country, a lot of that really probably accelerated with COVID when people had to start working from home and companies started shedding workers. Many of them made the decision to take the jump and become self-employed. And when you do that, you lose the ability to get a lot of the benefits of working for somebody. The nice thing about this is now you can own your own business and get a lot of the same benefits that big companies provide their employees. So the problem, as I've been mentioning, when you leave your company, quite often it's very difficult to find good insurance, health insurance, voluntary benefits. And so gig workers provide solutions for that. We'll get into the benefits here in just a minute. We'll talk about all the different insurances that are involved. But retirement, a lot of people that are self-employed, solopreneurs, they just don't have a good resource for starting retirement or continuing their retirement savings. So gig workers put in a 401k that you can participate in. There's no cost to you to participate. You just put it, you decide how much you want to put in. There's no other fees that gig workers charges on top of the regular fee for you to participate in the 401k. So that's an included benefit. And then also there are tax benefits to becoming an S Corp. If you're not working with an accountant currently, we're going to recommend that you maybe talk to one, find one, and ask them if an S Corp is a good idea for your particular business, because we're all very different. And I would also recommend you include, if you're going to do that for the purpose of getting on gig workers, I would also make sure that you include this discussion with them, because maybe it's kind of a go either way on the S Corp on the tax side. But if you do it and you can get some benefits that are really going to benefit you, maybe that helps the accountant make a more informed decision. So I can absolutely sit on an appointment with you and your accountant if that's something that you would like for me to explain this to them. So keep that in mind as well. The solution gig workers provides is we bring to the solopreneur, the self-employed person, a comprehensive benefits package. We do payroll and W-2. So they'll set you up and do all the processing with the state. That was one of the things when I set up my business. I know I was always worried about whether or not I'm doing all of the right paperwork, if I'm missing anything. So that's why I ended up paying somebody to do that. It wasn't an inexpensive thing, but they take care of that for you. They help you with tax strategy, and there's education and community support. I'll show you some of that on the website when we get to that in a few minutes. Again, GigWorker Solutions is a benefit provider, W-2 payroll, and education. Some of the trusted partners GigWorkers works with, some of these you may recognize, some you may not. Champion Health is a tax/limited health benefit plan. I'll be explaining that more here shortly. Amaze Health is a telehealth program, very comprehensive. It's like Teladoc on steroids. I'm sure many of you recognize MetLife, iSolved. B3 is a benefits administrator, and Anchor Financial is a big part of this. They're a CPA firm, financial firm. They're also involved in helping with tax strategy and that kind of thing. So let's get into some of the benefits. The ones you see here in the green box are all included benefits in the program, so there's no additional cost. The cost to the program, the monthly fee, is $175 a month. However, the first item here on the slide, the Champion Health, that has tax advantages to it. It actually helps reduce your tax load by taking out this plan pre-tax. So when you become an S Corp, you become an employee of the S Corp, a W-2 employee. So the benefit, the business benefits from this tax savings, and the employee benefits from the tax savings. And combined, if you did a minimal $3,000 a month payroll, you're going to save somewhere, the business is going to save somewhere around $90 to $100 a month. So automatically, by enrolling into the CHAMP plan with the gig workers, you're taking your fee in effect down from $175 down to $85 a month. I'm going to get into the Champion Health here. Why don't we just do that right now while we're talking about it? I'm going to flip screens here and go over to the, so how the CHAMP plan works, it provides some medical benefits, very valuable medical benefits. The employee, the business owner that enrolls in gig workers has everything that we're going to talk about. And then there's some of these benefits that are actually included for the family as well. So they get $0 copay, unlimited primary care physician visits. When I say $0 copay, that's for the office visit. If you have x-rays or labs or something else, it doesn't cover that, but it covers the office visit copay at $0. Also for urgent care visits, there's a large list, probably 250 or so commonly used generic prescriptions that you have a $0 copay with this program. And the Amaze app for both health and mental health are $0 copay. A lot of the telehealth, you can get the medical part for $0 copay, but you don't get the mental health part for $0 copay. This includes both. You get your 100% preventative care covered, and the family gets 24/7 virtual care through the Amaze app. So the family's included on the Amaze app. They're also included on the prescription plan. The CHAMP plan runs through a Section 125, and that's how we realize the tax savings I mentioned earlier. I'm not going to get deep into how all that works right now. They will explain that better for you when you enroll. But if before you engage gig workers, if you want to contact me, my contact information will be coming at the end. You're welcome to email me or call me. I'll gladly go through that plan, every bit of it with you to make sure you understand it. This is kind of an example of the tax savings. If you were to look at a W-2 payroll, hopefully this is large enough. Can you guys see it okay? So you can see the example without the CHAMP plan and the paycheck example with the CHAMP plan. And I can provide each of you a copy of this document so you can look at it closer. But you can see on this payroll, there's about $135 employee savings for this month. Just on the employee side, that's not including the company side, which would probably be around $90 to $100. So you can quickly see that if with the tax advantage of having the CHAMP plan involved, really you could get this service instead of paying Uncle Sam the $175. You could, in effect, get this all of these benefits we're going to talk about for basically no cost. And the Amaze Tele app, some of the things that they cover, you've got live healthcare advisors, you've got an insurance dashboard, appointment tracking, drug and procedure pricing, research tools, medical bill and claims assistance, and wellness tools. The CHAMP plan itself is a very comprehensive health engagement program. One of the ways they help you stay healthier, and one of actually the requirements to participate with the CHAMP plan, is every month you have the opportunity to either use the Amaze app to talk to a provider for whatever reason. You've got a cold, you twisted your ankle, not sure if you should go into urgent care. Whatever reason you engage the Amaze app, that counts as an engagement for that month. And you only need one per month. You can have as many as you want, but you need one per month. That's a requirement to participate in the CHAMP plan and to keep that going. You're going to want to do that for the tax savings. So it not only helps you tax-wise, but this is really very comprehensive health engagement. And I've looked at a lot of the different engagement tools they've got. They're very helpful. If you're pre-diabetic, there's a lot of information you can get on pre-diabetes. If you forget about doing it, they're going to remind you. They're going to send you an email, say, hey, here's some options for you to use this month for your engagement. And you just click on them, you run through them. Some are 5 minutes, some are 15, some are 45. It's up to you which ones you want to use. But just wanted to make you aware that's all part of the CHAMP plan. It's a very comprehensive health engagement tool. And so I'm going to switch back and we're going to go to the slides again. And the next thing we're going to talk about is included in the program is a $10,000 group life insurance plan on the GigWorker. Something I think is very important, if not for all, but many or most of the people that are out there on their own, is workers' compensation. As many of you know, workers' comp for a business owner is kind of a ghost policy. You really can't claim on it. So when you have truck drivers, delivery drivers, even real estate agents, I mean, a lot of us spend a lot of our awake time on the job. And workers' comp is probably one of the best values in health insurance there is out there. Workers' comp covers your medical expenses, 100% of them if you're injured while working. And if you can't work because of your injury or work-related illness, they pay 66%, 66.6% of your W-2 income. So, you know, like I said, even real estate agents, I mean, they're walking over properties, they're crawling around houses, showing houses. Things happen. You can walk past a ground bee's nest and get the daylight stung out of you. Workers' compensation for most self-employed people is something they just don't get to utilize. With the CHAMP plan, it's included in the 175. So if you're a person or have a client who's already paying workers' comp, I actually have a veterinarian who's a surgeon, and he goes from clinic to clinic, and he has to have workers' comp in order for him to go work in these clinics. He told me he's paying $1,200 a month for his workers' comp. He's paying $70 a month for his payroll. Right there, we just replaced all of that, and he gets all these other benefits as well. So workers' comp, you can bring this now to your clients who are self-employed that would qualify for an S Corp and get them covered for that. The S Corp tax savings and the identity theft and fraud protection is very comprehensive. We'll take a look at all that here shortly. In the blue box are the electable benefits. And as I mentioned earlier, the 401k is actually included, but it's electable. So we put it in the electable box, but there is no extra fee for that. The dental vision, additional group life up to 500,000, short-term, long-term disability, critical illness, and the legal plan all have an additional charge if you want to incorporate those into your benefits plan. I believe there's an accident plan too that's not listed on there. So one of the things I want to assure everyone watching is GigWorkers is not in the business of selling benefits. They're providing benefits, they're providing access to group benefits, because what they're doing is aggregating all of these individuals and negotiating better deals in underwriting when they can. But B3, who I mentioned earlier, is a benefits enrollment company that helps with enrolling the benefits. That's who you'd be talking to when you get enrolled with GigWorkers. Their staff and management have no incentive financially in any way to enroll you in benefits. They're paid salary. They're not paid bonuses on app counts. They're not paid commissions or bonuses on commission. None of that involved. I want to mention that because first, I don't want you to feel like you're going to get hustled when you get into enrollment. But if you have clients and you're currently selling them benefits or have the ability to sell them benefits, I don't want you to worry that if you send them there, they're going to try and sell your clients away from you. They're going to educate them on what benefits are available, and that's the only job they have. Quite frankly, IAD has actually pretty much all of these things. And from what I'm looking at, what I've used through them, we're just as competitive as they are anyway. So that's something I just wanted to bring up. If you're thinking about this for clients, that's something GigWorkers is very aware of. Insurance agents is a big part of their market, and they certainly don't want to have people, agents worried about sending them to GigWorkers and getting either themselves or their clients all of these great benefits and worry about losing commissions. So how this all works, the first thing you have to do is get your S Corp. It's right in the beginning of the enrollment process. They ask you right up front if you're already an S Corp. If you're not, they give you some options to get that way. Once you get that way, whether they help you or you get it done yourself, then you can begin the enrollment process. The minimum payroll you can do is a $3,000 per month payroll. That's an IRS recommendation to GigWorkers. When they set this up, they said, got to start at 36, no lower. So if you can't maintain a $3,000 payroll, then this probably wouldn't be a good idea for you. Now, when I say $3,000 payroll, the really cool thing that I like about GigWorkers Solutions is when they do your payroll, they do it one time a month, and they do a net payroll. So what that means is they're only going to take from your account your payroll taxes that are due, and that's after all of the pre-tax deductions. They take the payroll taxes due and any elected benefits that you take. That's it. So out of a $3,000 payroll, you may have a $600 deduction or whatever you decide your electables are going to be, somewhere in that neighborhood. So you don't have to worry about making sure that 3,000's in there every time payroll hits. The other requirement is you have to be actively working in the business. Once they process the payroll, they do all of the transferring to the government. They pay all your taxes for you. They keep track of all that, and then they also set you up with your benefits. This is just another, basically a chart on how you get everything set up. And at this point, I'm going to run over to our website, and we're going to take a look at what that looks like, so you guys can see a little bit about how that works. So GigWorker Solutions, you'll get a link from us that will get you into this through Insurance Advisors Direct. This is the website. There's all kinds of information on here. I'm gonna open some things and go through some things, but I'll just give you a quick overview here. There's a really cool tax calculator on here I want to look at real quick. And this is going to be a discussion you have with your tax advisor. But one of the savings you can realize with an S Corp is you can have your, whatever your income is. Let's use $100,000 as an example. Let's say your S Corp takes in $100,000 for the year, and you want to do a $50,000 payroll. Your accountant will explain it to you, but the IRS says that you have to do a reasonable payroll compared to what others in your industry are getting paid. So there are some things you can do to kind of separate that. What you don't pay yourself in payroll, you can pay yourself in distributions later, and you don't have to pay the self-employment tax on that difference. In the example I have here of 100,000 revenue and 50,000 W-2, it looks like the tax savings, this is without the CHAMP plan, is right around $7,600 for the year. That's pretty substantial. That's money you can do other things with. I'm not recommending anybody does 50,000 or 36 or 75 or 100. I'm just showing you how this works. Even if you were to do 75,000, there's still $3,800 in tax savings to help keep your business going. It's bottom line savings. So that's in there as well. I'm going to go up to the top here a minute, just show you a few things. Here's where you look at all your different benefits. The identity theft protection plan is a pretty comprehensive plan. We can look at all of the legal plan, the life insurance, disability, all of that. You can go in here and look all that over before you even start to enroll. When I talked about education a few minutes ago, they have a blog in here. It's got a lot of good information in here on different subjects, tax and finance. They help you understand what S corps are, why you may want to consider it, how payroll works for S corps. There's all kinds of different subjects in here, and they're going to continue to add more. There's also, I can tell you, in the next quarter, there's going to be some other very, very valuable additions to GigWorkers, and we can bring you updates on that as we go. But I can tell you there's some really cool things coming that are going to make this even much more of a big value to most people that are self-employed. So, bunch of frequently asked questions here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a pretty simple program. Once you get yourself enrolled, I would say the most complicated part's going to be working through whether an S corp is a good idea for you. If you're already an S corp or your client's an S corp, kind of a pretty easy decision to work with GigWorkers, because you get basically all of these benefits we're looking at here. You can basically get them at little or very little cost, if any cost. Kristie, do we have any questions that might have come up?
We do. So
I haven't seen any yet, so let me open
okay, sure. Yeah, so Linda wants to know, how do you qualify for the S corp? Is that
great
information
question
you could provide?
It's a great question. And I've done a lot of research. My business partner Jeff DeCam is on the call with us here too. We've done a lot of research in looking at GigWorkers, and neither one of us are CPAs. Some of the things that you want to look at is what your income is. Typically, we're seeing people under 40,000, probably not at all. If you're over that, there's reasons people use S corps, and there's reasons why they don't. But honestly, an accountant, a CPA is really going to be the person that you're going to need to depend on to make that decision for you. And I'm happy to say that we now have this to put into the equation, because I've been at a point in my career where my accountant told me, he said, you know, it's not worth it yet. There's not going to be enough tax savings next year. Let's wait and see what next year looks like. But it was close. He said you could do it, but there's extra work involved. You know, we're going to file another form, so there's another fee for that. And you know, if you're going to save $500 in taxes, maybe not. But now if it's kind of on the fence, but by doing it, you can get GigWorkers and all these benefits, including your payroll done, including workers' comp, the CHAMP plan, all these things that help GigWorkers become more productive. I mean, how I see this thing in my business, I like to work on market development and selling things. I can't stand book work. I'm no good at it. I hate it. Don't like researching it. I'd rather let them do that stuff. But my advice is going to be to, if you don't have an accountant, find one, ask a friend, find one, see if you can get a consultation. It's probably going to be worth the conversation to see if you might become an S corp or not. I don't have any hardcore facts because it's a case by case thing.
Gotcha.
So I wish I could answer that question for you. Maybe one day we'll put an accountant on our webinar.
Right, that would be a good one.
Questions.
That would be a good one.
Yeah, I think we may do that someday.
So the other question came in, it wanted to know if the attendees will get a slide
Yep.
presentation.
Bet.
And as well, this is being recorded. And once we get it edited out, we will send it to our YouTube channel. I'll send Jim a link and he'll be in touch with you. So you will also get that link from Jim. And so you'll have a chance to listen in.
Yeah, let me do this too a minute, Kristie. I was going to leave this up on the screen.
Gotcha.
You guys can reach me. Kristie has got her hands full. She's got 3 plates full on her table all the time. So I promised her I wouldn't make any more work for her. So please don't contact Kristie.
It's
You
fine.
can contact me if you have any questions about this. If if you're not interested in any of it right now, that's fine. If you keep my information, you can always contact me later. Kristie can always connect you with me, but she really is not really involved in the GigWorkers thing. Insurance Advisors Direct, Jason and Kristie, they wanted to make this available to the agents because they saw value in it for their agents, for themselves, for their business. They're always looking for tools to help you guys become more profitable and help expand your business. So they really wanted to roll it out to you guys. And they also realize you have clients that might be able to benefit from this. And I wanted to, while I'm talking about that, one of the things in my insurance practice that I like about GigWorkers is we are creating a budget for some of these people, because if we can make it make sense for them to move over to an S Corp, and if they can realize some tax savings, when we did that calculator earlier, the tax savings calculator, even the minimal one, or the $75,000 one versus $100,000, there was like $3,800 in tax savings. Well, as an insurance advisor, you now have the opportunity to have a discussion with them about life insurance, indexed universal life for retirement, whole life for infinite banking. You can talk to them about critical illness. You can talk to them about hospital death. You can talk to them about all these things. And we recommend you do that because this is going to open up a budget for these people. So it's a door opener for you to have a conversation with people that you otherwise may not have. It's a way for you to go back to some of your existing clients that you already know are business owners and present this and have another whole conversation with them. So we all saw a value in bringing this to Insurance Advisors Direct. And I'm tasked with being the direct contact for Insurance Advisors Direct. I'm happy to do it. I'll spend as much time with any of you as you need. So yeah, that's really kind of the overview, Kristie. Unless you can think of anything else you want to add.
No, you've said it all. And we appreciate your time today listening to this really good opportunity. We feel like it will be of value to many of you. And again, just to share it again with your clients. So I will stop there. And thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks, Kristie. Thanks, everyone. Oh, last question. So no sole proprietor or LLC to qualify. You have to be an S Corp. You have to be. So if you're a 1099 sole proprietor, contractor, you need to get to LLC. And then from LLC, they're going to file you as an S Corp. And so that's part of the discussion you'll need to have in order to enter GigWorkers. You'll need to be an S Corp. They cannot do it. It's not possible to do it with an LLC because you have to be a W-2 employee of your company in order to get these benefits to work. Hopefully that helped.
Awesome.
Thanks, Kristie.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
See you, everybody.
Have a great day.
Bye.